Hey everyone, welcome back to Today Gossip America, your daily dose of celebrity news, music legends, and pop culture gems. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button because today's story dives deep into the legacy of one of rock's most iconic figures, Kurt Cobain. Right, the man, the myth, the tortured genius behind Nirvana is back in the headlines, and this time it's not about conspiracy theories or grunge revival. This time, it's about one of his guitars, not just any guitar, but a smashed Fender Stratocaster used during Nirvana's groundbreaking 1992 European tour. And guess what? It's hitting the auction block with a starting bid of $30,000. Let's break it down. This isn't just a collectible, this is a literal piece of music history. The guitar in question is a white left-handed Fender Stratocaster, personally owned and played by Kurt himself. If you've followed Nirvana's meteoric rise, you know 1991's Nevermind wasn't just an album, it was a cultural shift. That tour, the one right after Nevermind dropped, was when Nirvana went from underground icons to global rock gods. And it was during this very tour that Kurt used, and destroyed, this very guitar. Kurt was known for his aggressive stage presence, and smashing his gear was part of the ritual. It wasn't just for show, it was an expression of pure emotion. Frustration, energy, rebellion. So this Stratocaster carries more than just signatures and strings. It carries Cobain's essence, raw, unfiltered, and totally unforgettable. What makes this guitar even more valuable isn't just the history, it's the authentication. It was kept by a former Nirvana crew member who worked closely with the band between 1991 and 1993, someone who witnessed the chaos, the shows, the backstage moments. But to add an even greater level of credibility, the guitar was inspected and authenticated by none other than Big John Duncan, the legendary guitar tech who worked with Nirvana. That seal of approval ensures fans and collectors that this is the real deal, no replicas, no shady knockoffs, just authentic grunge gold. Now, $30,000 might seem like a lot, but when you consider the market, it's practically a steal. Let's rewind to 2023. Another smashed Stratocaster from the 90s sold for over $500,000. And if that doesn't blow your mind, remember the blue 1969 Fender Mustang Kurt played in the Smells Like Teen Spirit video? That one went for a jaw-dropping $4.50 million. So yeah, this $30,000 starting bid is just the beginning. Bidding wars are expected, and you can bet that serious collectors and superfans will be throwing their hats in the ring. And the timing? It's no accident, this auction is happening just days after the 31st anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death. April 5, 1994, a date that shook the world. Kurt was found dead at just 27 years old, from a gunshot wound to the head in what was ruled a suicide. But as fans know, that official story has always come with a cloud of controversy. Over the years, there have been countless rumors and conspiracy theories, including a growing number of people who believe Kurt may have been murdered. One of the most persistent voices in that conversation has been Tom Grant, a private investigator who once worked with Courtney Love. Last year, a leaked version of Kurt's alleged autopsy report made waves again, reviving the debate. That report claimed a suicide note was found at the scene, and it was accompanied by deeply haunting images, a shotgun in his hand, a cigar box filled with heroin paraphernalia, and evidence of multiple substances in his system. Some fans find closure in these details, others only more questions. But regardless of where you stand on the cause of death, there's one thing we can all agree on: Kurt Cobain's influence is eternal. He left behind his wife, Courtney Love, herself a controversial and iconic figure, and their daughter, Frances Bean Cobain. Frances has largely stayed out of the limelight compared to her parents, but she's made her own mark as a visual artist and model. And recently, she married Riley Hawk, the son of skateboarding legend Tony Hawk. Yes, you heard that right, two legendary bloodlines united. Now, 31 years later, a fan has the chance to own a piece of the legend. It's more than a guitar. It's a reminder of the fragility of fame, the price of genius, and the kind of unfiltered artistry that comes once in a generation. Whether it ends up in a museum, a millionaire's private collection, or a devoted fan's living room, it'll remain a powerful relic of the grunge era, a symbol of rebellion, heartbreak, and the kind of music that never truly dies. And look, let's be real. Kurt wasn't just a rock star. He was a voice for the voiceless. He sang about pain, anxiety, alienation, all the stuff people were too afraid to talk about in the early 90s. Nirvana's sound was loud and distorted, but the emotions behind it were real. That's why his music still hits so hard. So maybe it's fitting that the guitar going up for auction isn't pristine or polished. It's been smashed, used, and repaired. Just like Kurt. Beautifully flawed. Brutally honest. Undeniably real. Whether or not you plan on bidding, this moment gives us all a reason to reflect. To remember the man behind the music. The voice that shaped a generation. The icon who burned bright and left too soon. If you're watching this and thinking about how Kurt's music affected you, drop your favorite Nirvana song in the comments. Was it Come As You Are? Lithium? Heart-shaped box? Or maybe a deep cut that doesn't get enough love? Let us know. Let's keep that spirit alive. Thanks for tuning in to Today Gossip America. We'll keep you posted on how the auction goes and who ends up with this legendary guitar. And if you liked this deep dive into music history, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with your fellow Nirvana fans. Until next time, stay curious, stay nostalgic, and always keep the volume up. A rock on.